Hi everyone, and great meeting you. I'm Tiferet Kronfeld, a senior engineer in the high-tech industry, working in one of the biggest AI companies in the business as of today. I'm also an expert in creative thinking and just recently published a book called Creativity is the Name of the Game, available today in Hebrew and will be soon translated to English. It's really thrilled to be here today and speak about one of the hardest topics, and this is how AI impacts us, and specifically how it impacts our creativity. We'll start with defining what is creativity. We'll also speak about what blocks our creativity and how a correct usage of AI can boost our creativity. You know that latest studies show that the correct usage of AI can boost our creativity, and this is exactly what we'll talk about today. Just before we start, I want us to do a small drill together. I'd like to show you an object. This is my glasses case, and I'd like you to think of as many usages as possible to this glasses case. You can even pause this video and just take a few seconds to think about as many usages as possible, and please, non-trivial usages. This is called the AUT test, the Alternative Usage Test. This is one of the common tests as of today for creativity. It tests fluency, how many ideas people bring, flexibility, how many different ideas, and elaboration, how people explain the usage of their idea. There is another name for it, also called the paperclip test. Interesting thing is that I gave the same test to LLM models. They came up with many usages in just few seconds. Most of the usages were pretty common, like using it as a box, as a case, and putting pencils inside, jewelry, coins, etc. Some of the ideas were novel. What's interesting here is that people, together with AI in a brainstorming, can bring many ideas together, right? Combining ideas coming from the LLMs together with people and bring more ideas to the table, and by that finding new solutions. Looking at overall creativity tests as known as of today, we can definitely say that AI excel in fluency, bringing many ideas, and also excels in elaboration. People, human, excel in originality and also in appropriateness. And what is really interesting is the combination, because the latest research show that the sandwich model is the best model. People and human define the problem, AI generates multiple divergent ideas, and the human selects and refines the best idea, the appropriateness, what really fits people. My book was born into the generative AI arena. It's a really revolution. Each one of us think how we can be irreplaceable. And what I can definitely say is that bringing our uniqueness, our emotions, our pains even, our experience, and combining it together with AI, and of course bringing our creativity, we can even boost our creativity. One of the latest research that was done by MIT, and is a very important one, they took a group of people and divided it into two subgroups. Each one received a writing task using a generative AI, a ChatGPT. And while they were doing it, their brain was scanned using EEG test. And what I saw is that people who started alone writing, then went to the tools, refined, were reflective and asked questions, their brain showed many areas, lots of connectivity in their brain. People who went directly to the tool were not thinking, just gave the assignment to the chat. Their brain shows very poor connectivity. And as people say, right, one picture resembles 1,000 words. That's a really sign for us. I mean, when we use AI, we should start alone, work together, combine who we are together with the AI, work with AI as a partner. Another thing that this research showed is that the results of people who went directly to the tool were very shallow and also homogeneous. And that's important also for students who make some works, right? And also for us at Workspace. So please remember that when working with AI, we should use our metacognitive skills. We should excel and ask questions and work jointly together and not rush directly and put everything on the AI. I mentioned the word creativity quite a lot, and let's see what creativity is. Ken Robinson defined creativity as looking at things, at different things together, finding new connections between them in a way that we can generate a new idea. what I call connecting the dots. He says that creativity involves putting our imaginations to work. In a sense, creativity is applied imagination. Albert Einstein says that creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else has ever thought. And that's an amazing definition, right? Because it touches every field. It touches innovation, right, at workspace. It touches negotiation with people and finding new solutions that no one has ever thought. It also touches art, right? Finding new things and bringing yourself. And in that sense, I want to just leave a mark here that when speaking about creativity, there is creativity at art. People who are genuine in music and in writing and in singing and in sports. This goes along with what we call the dominant intelligences. Howard Gardner said that there are 8 dominant intelligences and each one has specific dominant intelligences, and this is characterized areas in which people can excel. There is creativity of what we call the mental flexibility, our ability to solve, problem solving. And this is what we are going to focus today on more on the mental flexibility area. Of course, we need to bring also excelling in every area, and also in arts, we can bring it also to workspace. I'm going to focus today on the mental flexibility. If we look at what blocks our flexibility or where our cognitive fixation reside, so we are usually reflexive. We bring answers pretty fast based on our experience. Our thinking is in patterns. We learn something and we put it in a pattern so we can easily get it out, but sometimes things do not fall into a certain pattern. Our thinking is emotion. Emotion is important. It's what makes us unique compared to the machines. But sometimes emotion interferes in the thinking process. If I'm too excited, if I'm anxious, if I'm have a low confidence, it can impact the way I'm thinking. We always or sometimes stuck in one dimension because this is our habits. This is what we know. Our thinking is blurred. We are distracted. We are working on different things, multiple, and sometimes for creativity, we need to focus. And we also have a social and cultural motive that impacts, right? Barriers that impacts, and also our bias toward people. What's interesting is that AI doesn't have most of those areas, doesn't have emotion interfering or reflexive or one dimension or blurred. And this is what brings to a new concept to look at AI as an additional layer to our brain. Think of it as 2 operating systems, a human operating system, an AI operating system, working together, empowering each other, and even offloading each other, because AI can offload and reduce some of our cognitive load right from us. AI can also automate the routine, runs many things in the background while we, as humans, can focus on strategic thinking and on problem solving. And let's see this model in front of us and see how we adopted it and used it in order to solve one of the key challenges of product managers in combination with the design thinking flow. Design thinking flow is a great flow for bringing innovative solution. It starts with understanding the real needs, the real problems, and not with the idea. It was adopted by engineers because usually engineers are used to start with a great idea. A great idea can lead to a great product, but maybe no one will use it. And this is why starting with understanding the real need, the customers, what they need, is something that can bring an innovative idea that people can really use. So we start with understanding the personas and characterize them, then define the problem, go to the ideation phase, raise many ideas, build a prototype, show the prototype and test it together with our customers, get their feedback, and it's an iterative process. Taking generative AI and putting it into this process can really bring a new innovative solution from idea to design in minutes. We can use it for the empathize phase and for the definition, and for the ideation, build a team together with different LLMs, build a prototype to show the user interface and the user experience and test it and get feedbacks pretty quickly. And this is exactly what we did. We took one of the challenges, which is the data fragmentation trap. In the high-tech industry, there are different teams using different tools. Some of them use Airtable, some of them use Confluence, Jira, Excel, Word, with many notes written, right, with the comments. And how we take all of these sources of information and create an understanding for project manager, what are the key risks, and even alert on risk on time, so we can find mitigations. So we started with the empathize phase. We started with an understanding who the customers are. We went and talked with different project managers in our company. And together also with AI, we define those personas. We define the crisis manager and the strategic program manager and the technical product project manager and also the governance and quality project manager. And we characterized each one of them and the key, let's say, pains that they have. And we found a key pain which is common to everyone. And this is what I just mentioned, how we reflect and give alert on time on risk of the project beforehand based on all those sources of information. And then what we did, we used the power of questions. You know that the questions we ask determine the boundaries of our thinking. It's a key thing in creative thinking process. And we can use questions in the definition phase. In the design thinking flow, we turn the challenge into a question. Instead of saying we have a problem of taking all those sources and creating a risk or notifying a risk, we said, how might we notify a risk based on all those sources? And this served as a basis for the brainstorming, for the ideation phase. Also in the ideation phase, we used questions like why, what if, open questions, and AI can reflect new perspective and different personas. It can give us the different perspective of the customers, of the competitors, what others do, our management, right, other stakeholders in the organization. And of course, it creates other points of view. And this is what we did. We went to the ideation. We built a team, a diverse team combined of people and AI together. And after thinking a lot about how might we solve this challenge, there was a proposal to use the analogies. Analogies is a key thing in creative thinking, where you borrow a solution from another field into your field. AI can truly help here. What we did, we asked two questions, other domains that face similar challenges like project managers in the high-tech industry. And if yes, how is it solved there? We came up with different solutions coming from the aviation world, from construction, from healthcare, from different domains that also had problem of how to notify risk in advance, understanding what a risk is, and alerting it. We built a product together with AI and showed our customers how the product looks like, how the user interface looks like. We called it a Skywatcher AI product, which is a centralized intelligence layer combining all those sources and sensors of information, which is automated and automates all the risk engine and pop-up alerts for the project manager to interfere when they are required, when their intervention is required. And we showed how it will look like. And we also created, using AI, a nice video. Project manager, check in, there's a risk. We went together with this prototype to our project managers. And what we saw is that everyone got what he or she needed. We got a check mark from every one of them. So very quickly, we understood the users, we defined the problem, we did the ideation, we brought the analogy from other worlds that actually solved the problem, we built a prototype, we demonstrated and got a feedback from our customers, from our personas. So how I envision the future of engineering creativity: embrace AI and empower your imagination. First of all, enhance your own creativity. Master the collaboration. Use AI as a partner. Excel whatever AI can bring together with you, with what you have together. And remember that AI amplifies, but it does not replace. And with this coming to an end, I want to thank you and I want to wish you a creative day. Thank you very much for being with me today.